audio.
What if I just do it myself? The only thing I'm concerned about is this. Isn't that how the court recorder is recording us?
Yeah, she'll call and let us know if she can.
Wait, you doing something? Good morning, Dexter. Dexter, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. And then I guess the court reporter will call.
If you have issues, they try that phone, this phone, try it this way so I can hear you call. Nice, honey.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Carter. If I could have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please.
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Ari Cussin from the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. And good morning. Thank you for your patience. If you are here to provide testimony in court, could you please stand up and raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk?
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. Can I call Spanish?
Yes.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line. Not sworn in yet.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Romero. Denise, could you please swear her in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear to translate from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Dalia Romero, state certified Spanish interpreter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Royce Menjorge Arpisa.
This is case number 20MM4986. Sir, you were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Mr. Alpizar?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Courtney, can he be placed on pretrial?
Yes, he can be placed on pretrial.
Thank you. All right. Sir, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Carlos Alberto Vélez Rodríguez.
Carlos Alberto Velez Rodriguez.
This is case number 20MM4984. Sir, you were arrested for battery, domestic violence, 2 counts. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Mr. Velez Rodriguez?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victims. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. Can Mr. Velez Rodriguez be placed on pretrial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Paula Andrea Bautista. Paula Andrea Bautista.
Paula Andrea Bautista.
This is case number 20 CF 8256. Ma'am, you were arrested for grand theft, third degree, use of an anti-shoplifting inventory control device, grand theft, and coordinating with others, possession of an anti-shoplifting control device, and conspiracy to commit grand theft. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Orlando Premium Outlet. You're not to have any contact with the witnesses or your co-defendant. And Ms. Bautista Diaz, she qualifies for pre-trial, correct?
No, Your Honor, she has a
Why not?
ICE detainer.
Pardon me?
She has an immigration detainer.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, I do need to inform you that you do have an immigration detainer as well. Bond on count 1 is going to be $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3, $150. 4, $150. And 5, $150. Thank you, ma'am. Does Ms. Vargas Rodriguez have an immigration? Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Joanna Catalina Vargas.
Joanna Catalina Vargas.
This is case number 20 CF 8257. Ma'am, you were arrested for grand theft, use of an anti-shoplifting device, coordinating retail theft, possession of an anti-shoplifting device, and conspiracy to commit grand theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the Orlando Premium Outlets. You are not to have any contact with the witnesses or the co-defendant in this case. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on counts 2 through 5 is $150. And ma'am, you also have an immigration hold. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Wilfredo Alessi Lanzo Torres.
Sir, this is case number 16 CF 2805. It is alleged that you have violated your probation by committing a new law offense in Osceola County, Florida, and using intoxicants to excess, and that you tested positive for alcohol, sir. At this time, your bond is set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
Good deal.
Thank you, sir. All right, Madam Interpreter, that's all the Spanish cases that we have this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Is Mr. Cherry still mental health?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And, Your Honor, will we be doing the Portuguese later?
Yes, I think we were going to call it the end.
Yeah,
But
we have to wait for
Okay.
them to
we don't
call.
have we have to be remoted in. So.
Thank you.
All right, so I've appointed the public defender to represent Mr. Cherry. Ms. Custon, did you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's case number 20 CF 8204. He was arrested pursuant to a warrant for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery and battery. Ms. Bush, were you asking to be heard as to bond on count one?
Your Honor, though it is a punishable by life offense, the state would just ask that the court set bond as to count one at $50,000, count two as a subsidiary at $100. The state is not going to argue proof evident presumption.
Okay. Ms. Custon, did you want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so at this time, based upon the information that I do have, I will set bond on count one at $50,000, count two at $250, or at $100. He's not to return to the scene, not to have any contact with the victim, not to possess any weapons or firearms.
So what was his reason for not being?
Mental health.
Thank you.
And then, good morning, are you Mr. Cripps?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cripps, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Brevard County.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know why this was reset. Does anyone remember?
Judge, please reset. We didn't discuss all cases. The case 2019 CF 013207,
Yeah.
that needs to be addressed, and case number 2019 CF 018981.
Yesterday when we had him, we only had him. They left off two days.
Okay. So, Mr. Krebs, I did recall seeing you yesterday. That's why I was a bit confused. It appears that there were two additional cases that I needed to see you on that they had left off yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
These are also Brevard County cases, 19 CF 18981. It is a violation of community control related to grand theft. The bond on that is none. And then the other one is possession of a controlled substance. It's also a violation of community control, and the bond is at none. As I told you yesterday, we do reach out to Brevard County to see if they'd like to make any modifications. But you were also appointed the public defender here to assist you with these cases while you're awaiting eventual transport.
How long do I have to wait for transport?
That I don't know. That's something that the sheriff's departments around the state are in charge of and working on. But just because you're here in Orange County doesn't mean that you couldn't potentially work on or resolve your case. That's why you have the public defender here in Orange County to assist you, and they can get in touch with Brevard County to see what can be done on your case while you're here.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Michael Ardwin.
Mr. Arwin, this is 20 CF 8260. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling and battery, dating violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Mr. Arwin?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count one is going to be $3,500. Bond on count two is $100. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes?
I'm really sorry for bothering you, and I know I'm asking for a lot, but is there any way you could help me out with the bond? Because my mom's is not working. I'm doing that mainly to take care of her. I have proof. She's also a disability in her leg. I'm asking if you could like help me with R&R. I know I'm asking for a lot, but this is gonna be kind of steep for me. Please.
So,
Please.
Mr. Arduin, I am not going to release you on your own recognizance on these cases.
Is there any way I could get it reduced? Please.
So the issue with PTR was that you could verify community ties, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Verify what? Sorry.
Your ties to the community, where you live, whether you work, who you live with,
I don't stay in the community.
Where do you stay?
I stay by Millennium Mall. I don't stay on the same area she does.
Well, right, but I guess within the community means here in Orlando. So you do live in the community,
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, I do stay in Orlando, yes.
okay? He can be? Okay. So, Mr. Otto, what I can do for you, is I will lower the bond on count 1 to $2,500, but I'll also have you, I'll also put pretrial release in the event that they can qualify you for that program. You will be placed on pretrial release.
Okay, thank you. I don't know what that is.
Well, they're going to come talk to you again, and they're going to obtain some additional information, people that they can call who can verify who you are, where you live, and how they know you.
Okay.
Okay, so give them good information.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
James Drake.
Mr. Drake, you were here in 20 CF 8196. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for kidnapping, battery, and petty theft. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, were you asking to be heard as to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to take into consideration the affidavit to issue the arrest warrant. And in that affidavit, it contains facts provided by the victim in this matter, the victim who is in a position to know Mr. Drake. And those facts, the state would ask the court to find that proof is evident or presumption is great that Mr. James Drake is the individual that did commit this kidnapping when he drugged Miss Henderson down the sidewalk and across the parking lot into his car and then snatched the child as well. State would ask that the court hold him at no bond as to count 1. The state would also ask the court to take into consideration that Mr. Drake is also, I believe it's on pretrial release in 2020 MM 4095. Charges battery, domestic violence, and it is the same victim. I believe that case was no billed because they could not contact the victim at the listed number.
Ms. Custon?
I have no arguments as to proof evident, but because the case was no billed, I don't see it. That means he's not on pretrial release. So we ask you don't take that into consideration when and if you set a bond.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Sir?
If you, I don't know if you had time to read that affidavit.
Yes.
Mr. Drake, this is Ari Custon from the Public Defender's Office. Please do not say anything about your case whatsoever. I'm going to be emailing an attorney who will have your case for the rest of the time.
No, I'm not saying anything about my case. I'm just talking to
You're talking about an affidavit. I just request you don't say anything about an affidavit whatsoever, and you just get the phone number for your attorney to discuss that with your lawyer.
No, ma'am, but everything that's on here is totally a lie, ma'am. None of this ever
Mr.
happened.
Drake, listen, that's what your lawyer's trying to tell you. I'm not saying what's in the affidavit is true, okay? I'm just telling you what you're being arrested for. That's what your lawyer's trying to explain is you need to talk to your lawyer about why it's not true.
Yes,
okay?
but they're asking for no bond. I would just like this to be read because there's no reason that I shouldn't have a bond, because if you would read this, you could tell from the beginning to the end that everything that's on here is totally a lie. It was made up. It was made up by her.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. All right, I don't think that there's enough information in the affidavit to determine that there is proof evident or presumption great. So I'm going to set a bond for Mr. Drake. I'm going to set bond on count 1 at $20,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. Bond on count 3 is $100. Sir, you are not to have any contact with either of the victims. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Ma'am, I have no one here but myself. I just moved into a house, ma'am.
Mr. Drake, I understand.
I
your
cannot afford a
frustration.
$20,000 bond. I have nobody to come bond me out on these cases, ma'am. And everything that's on this report is a lie. I promise you.
Mr. Drake, you need to talk to your lawyer about that and have them file a bond motion. I don't have enough information today about either the facts or anything else to do anything differently.
Ma'am,
Mr.
I have proof. I have proof in my cell phone downstairs that
Mr. Drake, I can't adjudicate that today. You need to speak to your lawyer, okay? Thank you.
a $20,000 bond.
Mr. Drake, thank you. Good morning.
How you doing?
Tell me your name, please.
My name is Messina Gee.
Mr. Gay, this is 20 CF 8250. You were arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Mr. Gay?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gay, you are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed.
Yes, but also the apartment is in my name. Everything in that house I own.
Okay, so if the victim is not staying there, then you can return to the home.
All right, thank you.
Okay? Mr. Gay, can be placed on pretrial release?
Could you say that again?
Yes, okay. Mr. Gay, I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Do you have any questions about anything that I've ordered?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Tell me your name, please.
Harry Ramsey.
Mr. Ramsey, this is case number 20 CF 8243. You were arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a witness for Mr. Ramsey?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, you are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may return one time to the house to get your things with the police if needed.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $500 or pretrial release if you qualify, sir.
Sorry, Judge, what was the bond amount?
500.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right. Ms. Custon, do you want to reset that or do you want to waive?
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender in 20 CF 8261. Mr. Rodriguez Robles was arrested for tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement, 2 counts battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. There's probable cause for the offenses. He's not to have any contact with the victim. He's to maintain a separate residence and not possess any weapons or firearms. He may also have a one-time return with law enforcement. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on counts 2 and 3, $150. Bond on count 4, $100.
Your Honor, we ask that it be or pretrial release.
I will add the pretrial release to that if he qualifies. They normally do though, right? He can bond up from the hospital? Okay, I'm gonna put it on there anyway, in the event that he's returned here, that way he could be screened. Okay.
You want it on the order?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Good morning, are you Mr. Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Thomas, you're here in 20 CF 80620. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for aggravated battery, false imprisonment, tampering with the witness to hinder communication to law enforcement, and battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Christy Clance.
All right, Ms. Clance, did you want to have contact with Mr. Thomas?
Yes, I do.
All right. Are you afraid of Mr. Thomas?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you afraid of Mr. Thomas?
No, ma'am.
How long have you been living together?
12 years.
You have children together?
No, we don't have children together.
Are there any children in the home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And during the course of your 12-year relationship, have there been instances of violence between the two of you?
No, not by him, no.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about your safety at all if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Bush, did you have any questions?
Only one. Ms. Clint, if something like this were to occur again, would you feel comfortable calling law enforcement if you felt you were threatened?
Yes, if I felt threatened, I would feel comfortable calling law enforcement.
All right. I have no further questions. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Kent. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am. If I'm not mistaken, that means any type of violence or any type of. Yes, ma'am, I understand.
That's correct. You're not to act aggressive toward her in any way.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Do you have any questions about anything that I've ordered?
Pre-trial release. Can you kind of explain it? Would it be a bond that comes with that, or?
No, you won't have to pay any money to get out of the jail today, but you will be monitored by a pretrial release officer while you're waiting for your case to go to court.
Okay.
You're going to have to call and check in.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Understand.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
My name is Lionel Wilkerson.
Mr. Wilkerson, this is 20 CF 8222. You were arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence. There's probable cause.
Ma'am.
I am going to,
Excuse me, ma'am.
sir,
The first four sentences. Okay, go ahead,
Mr.
ma'am.
Wilkerson,
Go
you do
ahead.
have a lawyer here who can raise any arguments on your behalf that they would like to. As they stated, that there is probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearm.
Ma'am?
Sir?
Hey, ma'am. On the first four sentences of this here, it's proved my innocence. On this paper here, I should be released.
Mr. Wilkerson, we all have a copy of the police report. I'll let the lawyer know that the facts of the police report you're saying are not true. But please just don't discuss anything else about the case. Today, the judge can't do anything about that, okay?
Why should I have that? And on this paper here stating that I didn't do anything.
Mr. Wilkerson, as I said, you're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to
I'm
maintain a
not gonna
separate
have, so all
residence.
I want to do is be
Mr. Wilkerson, you
released
can't
today.
talk.
That's
Mr. Wilkerson,
it.
you have to stop talking and stop talking over me. Do you have any questions about any of the things that I've ordered and about the no contact order?
I don't want to have any contact with her, so all I want to be released today.
Mr. Wilkerson,
That's
I've
it.
heard your request.
I'm
Do you
not
have
gonna
any questions?
I'm not going to have any contact with her.
Your Honor, also, as for the probable cause for the strangulation, it doesn't say that she could not breathe, just that she was choking He strangled her, but not that it impaired her breathing.
Ms. Bush, did you want to respond?
Your Honor, if I may have a moment to go back. Your Honor, the state also does not see any indication regarding breathing. However, the state would ask for 24 hours. To obtain the supplemental report and/or the victim's statement.
That would be granted. Ms. Preston, did you want me to, because I'm going to stay the bond.
No, I guess I withdraw because it looks like he's eligible for pretrial release.
Okay.
So I withdraw my probable cause challenge. And Mr. Wilkerson, the reason why I'm doing this is because you're going to get released without paying a monetary bond, even though the state could not prove that there was strangulation. The police report does have enough for at least a battery. So instead of waiting a day and you not be able to get out, I'm going to just ask the judge to set a bond, okay?
Set a bond? I should be released without a bond.
Yes, you will. Okay.
Mr. Wilkerson, you're going to be placed on pretrial release. I'm also going to add random ear analysis to the pretrial release.
So I
Thank you,
should
sir.
be released today, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Wilkerson, you will.
Thank you.
Come on.
Good morning, your name?
Victor Allen, ma'am.
Mr. Allen, sir, you are here in case number 20MM4980. You were arrested for battery. There is domestic violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I don't see a witness for Mr. Allen. Sir, you are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things if needed. Your bond will be $1,000, sir. Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Judge, is there no contact on his case?
Did I not say it?
I don't remember.
I meant to say that. Yes. Yeah, all the standard condition. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Omari Colette.
Ms. Collette, you're here in 20MM576. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Mr. Freeman?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Freeman, do you want to have contact with Ms. Collette?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
And do you live together?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am. I have
Ms.
no
Bush, do you have any
concerns.
questions for Mr. Freeman?
Yes, Mr. Freeman, how long have you been with Miss Collette?
2 years.
How long is 2 years? And over the course of those 2 years, has there ever been any violence in your relationship?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
No, ma'am.
And has there ever, and so you're saying there's never been any need for law enforcement to come?
No, ma'am. There's no,
Okay.
no need. No.
And if something like this were to happen again, and you felt threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Yeah, if I felt threatened, yes. But I
I'm
don't.
sorry?
If I felt threatened, yes, but I don't.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Any questions, Ms. Custon?
Mr. Freeman, do you guys live together?
No, ma'am.
No questions.
All right. Ms. Collette, I'm going to order that you are not to have any hostile contact with Mr. Freeman. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Matthew Davis.
Mr. Davis, this is 20MM4983. You were arrested for battery, dating, violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is going to be $500, sir.
Your Honor.
Yes?
May I request a pretrial release? I don't live in the area. I'm from Key West, so I don't have that much money to get home and all that right now with everything going on.
Mr. Davis, are you going to cooperate with pretrial release if they ask you questions?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Davis, I'm going to leave the bond at $500, or I'll put pretrial release if you are to qualify for that. I have some notes that indicate that they attempted to qualify you, but you were not cooperative. So if someone comes to see you and starts asking you personal questions about where you live and who your emergency contacts are, if you want to be qualified for pretrial, I would suggest that you answer those questions, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, sir, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Duran?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 20MM4982. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, can
Sir?
I say something really quick?
Well, not about the facts of your case, but if you have a question about what's happening in court, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just I got a concussion and I went to the hospital and they didn't go to the hospital, and like I'm still like kind of shaky and I'm like shaken up because they like lied and did a whole bunch of weird stuff to me and stuff, because my dad has a history of beating my mom.
Okay.
So I'm
Duran,
sorry.
I hear you, sir. No, I hear you, and I understand. These are things, though, I think you need to speak to your lawyer about in preparing your case. You have a bond today.
By the way, I don't have a job right now, and like my parents aren't gonna help me. Like they hate me. That's what I said in the statement. Like I have no one. You see what I'm saying? I'm waiting till look, in 2 months I have a plane ticket bought. I saved the money to go to South America. I'm Colombian, and I'm gonna go be an English professor over there because there's more opportunity for me over there. And they're just so trying to mess my life
Mr. Duran, this is your lawyer. Just tell your lawyer that you're going to get after me about all this, and they'll talk to you about, possible solutions from here. But today the judge is just setting a bond.
Okay.
So let her, say what's going to happen, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Duran, as I said, your bond is going to be set at $500. I'm not going to take any action on your petty theft case that you received the notice to appear on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I don't think that the lawyer's been appointed because there was an arraignment.
It has a return date. Do you want me to appoint you on that case?
Yes, it's very strange. The return date was, yes.
It was a notice to
Oh,
appear.
okay.
It was a notice to appear, so it
Got redone. If you could appoint us, please.
I
Thank
will
you.
appoint the public defender, Mr. Duran, on your out on bond case. Your return date is July 22nd, so make sure you're back in court for that, okay?
July 20. Can I write that down somewhere?
Sure.
July what?
22nd.
Then that's for what case?
You have a petty theft case that's pending
Okay, and where do I show up?
to the courthouse downtown.
Okay. Do you know what like court number, like where specific which one it is?
4D,
4D?
yes,
What, did you see the time, Ms. Custon?
at 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Oh, 3 p.m.
Yep.
Perfect. And yeah, and I have to do community service or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that. When you go to court, you'll have more information on that day.
Okay, thank you guys. God bless you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Renecia Levette Haynes.
Ms. Haynes, you're here in 20 MM 4985. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Okay. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Can she be placed on pretrial? Okay. And Ms. Haynes, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about any the conditions that I've ordered?
No.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. Your name?
Jocelyn Rideau.
Ms. Rideau, this is 20 MM 319. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is going to be $1,500. I'm not going to revoke your out on bond case at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Tiffany White.
I'm sorry, tell me that again.
Tiffany White.
She's in the traffic.
Maybe those one.
It's 3 down
Yeah,
from where we were.
maybe the other case.
Miss White. Did Edgar Gonzalez Moreno bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about Christina Meyer?
She's medical.
All right. Miss Meyer was arrested in 20 CT 497 for driving while license suspended. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent her. I'm going to release her on her own recognizance at this time. She's not to drive without a valid driver's license. Miss White, good morning. You were here in 20 CT 2338. You failed to appear for arraignment for attaching a tag, not a sign. There is a $1,000 bond. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer for Ms. White?
No, Your Honor. It's a companion case in a felony 2020 CF 4320.
It's the same out on bond case.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. All right, Ms. White, your bond at this time is $1,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Out on bond.
No action on the out on bond.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Bakari Torrance Pollock.
Mr. Pollock, you are here in 20 CT 4240 for driving without a, while your license is suspended, and for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Try to find his driving record real quick.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I ask him a question?
Sure.
Mr. Pollock, have you ever had a driving while license suspended before? If you don't know, then that's fine.
I can't. No, man, I don't know. I haven't looked to look. But I know I was wanting to try to get my license back this year. I was trying to go to the second chance program thing.
Yeah, they're probably not doing those right now.
Yes, because they've been pushing them back due to COVID-19.
I've got everyone else from this morning. Thank you. All right, Mr. Pollock, we're gonna pull your driving record, so just hang tight for a moment. Ms. Bush, is your office still, no infoing the less than 20?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that at initial appearance, or is it ROR and then you do that later?
I can do it here at initial appearance.
Okay.
You have to set a date, because I know it's gonna start, so set a date to come. Not sure. But if it was Orlando, we would set a date.
I don't even see
You have it?
I don't even see that he has a license. I see a whole bunch of ID cards.
This is so different.
Okay, this one says driver's license revoked, so somewhere he does have a license.
Thank you.
And I think it's, yeah. But it says the license status is revoked.
Particular proceedings don't have a license.
Okay.
Which is very confusing.
So, but it doesn't look like there's anything else.
I just see one in the last 5 years. Not as a driving while license suspended.
As one of the strikes is commission of any felony in which a motor vehicle is used. So just in case.
And there are 2 fleeings.
It has to be within 5.
It is within 5. I need to reread that statute then, so, okay, that's fine. He doesn't need to resolve it today.
And with that in mind, Your Honor, if the court would just ROR as to the possession of cannabis.
Okay.
Your Honor, we also ask he be RR'd on the driving license suspended so he can use money to help get his license back rather than pay a bond.
All right. Mr. Pollock's last failure to appear was in October of 2010. Mr. Pollock,
Yes, ma'am.
you are not to drive without a valid driver's license. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance on both of these new cases. You're also getting a break, and I'm not going to revoke your out on bond case given the nature of the new cases and because of the COVID-19 issue. So don't come back through here again, Mr. Pollock.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
No. Right.
Is there an offer for Mr. Wiggins?
One moment.
Sure.
Is Mr. Wiggins a traffic case? Your Honor?
Yes, it's an arraignment.
Oh, an arraignment.
He has 2 cases.
She
No,
emailed me
Your Honor.
that he had a related misdemeanor that was unfiled.
Has a, yes.
So I'll enter a not guilty plea.
Okay. Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Wiggins?
No, I'm not.
Oh, Mr. Wiggins is medical? Yes. Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Okay. One moment, sir. I'll be right with you.
Yes,
This is 20 CT 4060 and 20 CT 4059. Mr. Wiggins is represented by the public defender who's waived his appearance. He's going to enter a plea of not guilty. He is going to be in Division 85. That's in front of Judge Allen. His pretrial conference is August 3rd at 9 a.m. courtroom 4A.
And the next person on the docket, Jeremiah Fuller, medical.
All right, 1 second. So on this sheet, though, Denise, it's in parentheses says 4C. Is that not to, is that to be used as 4A?
Because we get these dates from the JA, so we will have to add it.
I think it's 4C.
Okay.
These are the big arraignment
She might know because she
courtrooms.
was downtown.
The one in parentheses, I think, is the actual arraignment. 4A is Judge Allen's courtroom.
Right. So this is actually what-
Okay. So you guys, that court date, the actual courtroom is 4C, not 4A. For Mr. Wiggins.
For this would be for a second.
Your Honor, I'm going to run over to the other courtroom for the plea for the out of county.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Wiggins is
Fuller
done.
is medical, you
Am I
said?
missing, who's next?
Did you get Fuller, Your Honor?
Is that an arraignment?
Status hearing.
Let
It's
me
a
find the
Volusia
add-on
County.
docket. 1 second. Jeremiah Fuller,
Yes, ma'am.
he's medical.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Fuller in the event that they weren't previously represented. His bond is to remain at none.
And the next for resetting, right? Okay, so I just need the order so I can put that he was not present.
Oh, you're correct.
It's the adequate.
Courtney, thank you.
Judge, you want me to hold on to the orders and then I'll pass them to you?
Yep.
I'll find it. You can keep the sheet and I'll look here.
All right, next one.
Pierce, Edward Pierce, medical.
Edward Kish.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. On Mr. Kish's case, his bond is to remain the same at $495. His next arraignment date's August 10th before Judge Herr. Denise, do they get a copy of the court minutes even if they don't come to court?
Yes, I give it to corrections. I'm not sure what happens to it after that, but I'm pretty sure they get a copy.
No. Yeah. Courtney, they get a copy of the court minutes even when they don't come? Okay. All right. Thank you. Anyone else?
She'll be at the podium.
Okay.
Oh,
Good morning, sir. Tell me your name.
My name is James Edward Savage Jr.
Mr. Savage, this is a status hearing regarding your Duval County case. Your bond is to remain at none at this time per Judge Salem. I have appointed the public defender here in Orange County to help you with your case and help you coordinate with Duval County, sir.
I just want, ma'am, I've been in here since the second. I just need to know, when they coming at me?
Sir, I wish I had a good answer for you. I just don't. They're not transporting the inmates because of COVID.
Okay,
So that's
so-
why I've appointed the public defender here to help you with your case.
I'll email the lawyer and let them know that you want a bond.
Thank you, Mr. Savage.
the next person, Austin Triplet, medical.
All right. Mr. Triplett's bond is also to remain at none per Judge McGillen in Putnam County. I'll appoint the public defender in the event they weren't previously appointed.
Yeah, thank you. What is your name, ma'am?
The next person, Alex Wilson, medical.
Right there, right here, right there.
All right, that's an out-of-county status hearing from Seminole County. The bond is to be modified per Judge Rex Seidler to $500. The next arraignment date is August 4th at 9 a.m. before Judge Collins.
I have to go back and get the original bond amount. In the records, so that's the only thing that can make it.
Okay. Oh, big deal. Good morning, your name?
Christopher Monroe.
Mr. Monroe, you are here for an out-of-county case out of Seminole County. It appears that there is an offer to resolve your case. It is an adjudication of guilt, revoke and terminate probation, 60 days in jail with credit for time served. Is that what you'd like to do this morning, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Monroe, Ms. Custon, on the affidavit for violation of probation, there are 2 violations that are new law violations that occurred in Orange County, Florida. Do you know the status of those cases?
I do not. My computer's over there. I can check. I'll come on.
I'll look. That's okay.
And Your Honor, may the state have those case numbers?
Sure. It's 2020 CF 143 AO and 20 CF. Oh, it's the same case number. There's just 2 different counts. He pled on 6/23 of this year. Okay.
Yeah, she said.
Okay, so there would be no effect on the probation. Or on the new law, on the new cases. That's what I meant to say. Okay, Mr. Monroe, I just wanted to make sure that the cases that are alleged to have violated your probation had been resolved, or that the plea today wouldn't have any effect on those cases, and it will not. So you admit that you violated your probation by failing to pay your cost of supervision and by being arrested in Orange County, Florida for battering a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence.
Yes.
All right, sir. Did you have a chance to read the admission form for the violation of probation?
Yeah, that's 300.
I do. Actually, I didn't really read it, but I kind of went over it.
Okay, well, take a look at it. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the rights on the form that you're giving up.
Okay. Lawyer. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did go over something like that. Okay.
Are you all set?
Yes.
No questions?
No.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your admission, revoke and terminate your probation, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 60 days in jail with credit for 60 days time served. You'll also have to report to Seminole County regarding any outstanding court costs that you may have.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right, you have a good day.
I think that's all of that. We need to do the Portuguese.
You got the 30-day motion?
Yeah, you want to do those first?
Okay. I'll call him while you're doing it.
Ms. Bush, are you ready on the 33-day motions?
Your Honor, if I may have just 2 minutes.
Sure, just, you're ready.
Well, let me call him then.
Sure.
And the state is ready, Your Honor.
Okay.
You want to try to call the number for us for the Portuguese?
20 CF 5930 Michelle Campbell.
Yes. This is Denise calling from Courtroom 1 with Judge Carter.
A notice of non-filing was filed on July 7th.
Courtroom 1.
That will be granted.
And we're ready to do the Portuguese. I was told to call in.
20
so you
CF
guys can call.
6156 Jeremy Gilbert.
A notice of non-filing on July 7th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 7019 Jose Ortiz.
Notice of non-filing July 7th.
Granted. 20 MM 4058 Maksudur Rahman.
And information was filed on 7/8. Filing ID is 1099-16665.
That'll be denied. 20 CF 6946 Michael Scott.
A no information notice on 7/7.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 7011 Bruce Bradford Wool.
Your Honor, may I need just one. Oh, what was the case number again?
20 CF 7011.
I need just one moment, Your Honor. There's been no decision made, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be granted. 20 CF 6829 Bruce Bradford Wall.
An information was filed. Filing ID is 1098-85751. And that was filed on 7/7.
That'll be denied. All right, and then what's the status for the Portuguese?
I'm waiting for them to connect it.
Okay.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. Your client ID is inactive. Please call again with another ID or contact customer service. Please enter your 6-digit client ID.
Gonzalez Ortiz.
Yes, granted,
Is that
he
him
said it
calling?
was a non-filing. 2027-019?
Yeah, but it was an information was filed. I didn't hear it.
Okay, I'll have to readdress that.
Yes. No, it's 503014. Yes. 51000. Hold on, let me turn to the page. Judge Carter
He
is
would have to go through email.
510001.
I usually print it, but today I left it upstairs.
So when you, okay,
And then
after you do the 6-digit client ID, you hit option 2 and you tell them it's Portuguese.
One of them should actually have been denied. So don't
And then you put in
do
the
that
judge's
yet. I'm
code.
gonna
It's gonna
resend
ask you
it
for your
to
access
correctly.
code.
That emailed you saying email them. You just say 33, motion granted, 33
Okay.
motion denied. Just email them that. Yes.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. For Spanish, press 1. For other, press 2. Please speak the name of the desired language.
So you have to tell them it's Portuguese. It'll pick up my Portuguese.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say anything. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Portuguese.
I understood Portuguese. If this is correct, say yes or press 1. If this is incorrect, please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for an interpreter.
Hello, this is Hurley, interpreter ID number 217848 for Brazilian Portuguese. How can I assist?
Hi, good morning. I have a court case that I need your assistance with interpreting.
Sure, I'll be happy to assist you.
He has a power of attorney as well.
Okay, who's that?
Can't say the last name. It's Frederick Waski. I have his number.
Okay.
Can you call him from that?
Sure.
phone? Whenever you're ready. 321. 321 436 0075.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Judge Carter calling from the courtroom.
Judge, how are you? Frederick was on behalf of the defendant, Lisa.
Yes, we're going to proceed with his initial appearance.
Okay.
All right, and I have Mr. Sa on the computer screen, and I also have a Portuguese interpreter on the line.
Okay.
All right. Madam Interpreter, I'm going to direct this to the defendant. First of all, this is case number 20 CF 8258. Sir, please state your name.
Warlisa.
Sir, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. Madam Interpreter, can you hear me? Ma'am? Is she not on the phone anymore?
I have nowhere to tell him, so they call.
Okay. Can you call them back?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, Counselor. Could you tell me your last name again?
Yes, Judge. It's Wazeski. I spell it for you. It's W-A-C as in Charlie, Z as in zebra, E-W-S-K-I.
Wazeski?
I filed, yes.
Okay.
I filed the notice of appearance and everything already. It's circulating through the system. I've already received information, but I'm not sure if it's show up on your system.
No problem. I think it's there. I just wanted to make sure I was saying it and knew your name
We
correctly.
got disconnected. The Portuguese
I'm waiting for
interpreter
the
is not on the line.
Portuguese interpreter to
She was
be
there
back
and
on the
then
line. I
it
think it was disconnected.
Yes. 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 Okay, thank you. That was Gerald.
Try it again.
He said he's gonna take it.
He's gonna fix it.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. For Spanish, press 1. For other, press 2. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Portuguese.
I understood. Portuguese. If this is correct, say yes or press 1. If this is, please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for an interpreter.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Ludovina ID number 207732, and I will be your Portuguese interpreter today. In this call, do you happen to have your customer with you, or do you need me to call them for you?
No, we have him present. This is a court proceeding. I'm going to state the case number for the record, 20 CF 8258.
And I apologize, Your Honor. This is the interpreter speaking. May the interpreter ask the court if this is for Brazilian Portuguese, European Portuguese, or Cape Verdean, so that the interpreter can bring you the correct interpreter.
Sure, this is Brazilian.
Brazilian. Would you be so kind to hold for your Brazilian Portuguese interpreter?
Sure.
Your Honor, thank you. Please hold for your Brazilian Portuguese interpreter. Thank you for using your services, and please hold for the Brazilian Portuguese interpreter.
Sure,
thank you. You are quite welcome, Your Honor. Please hold.
Afterwards, we need to readdress Jose Antonio Gonzalez Ortiz on the ROR list.
Okay.
Apparently, I said there was a notice of non-filing, and there was an information filed in that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Marcella, ID number 206278. I'll be your Brazilian Portuguese interpreter today. How can I help you?
Yes, I need your assistance in interpreting with a court proceeding.
All right. Is it possible to introduce myself to your Portuguese speaker, make sure we understand each other?
Yes, please do.
Thank you. Olá, eu serei sua intérprete. A chamada pode estar sendo monitorada por questões de treinamento e qualidade. Eu falo português do Brasil. E vocês?
Também falo do português do Brasil.
All right, thank you. We understand each other. We're ready to continue.
Thank you. Sir, please state your name.
Senhor, fala o seu nome, por favor.
Warley Sá.
Woman Sa.
Sir, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm.
Senhor, o senhor foi detido para assalto agravado com uma arma.
There is probable cause.
Tem a causa provável.
I have your attorney present on the phone here who is listening to this hearing.
Estamos com seu advogado presente pelo telefone escutando essa audiência.
Mr. Waseski, were you asking to be heard on bond?
Yes, Judge.
Sure,
Senhor Waseski, o senhor quer falar sobre fiança? And I believe the gentleman said yes. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Sim. Pode falar.
Judge, understanding the limited amount of time I've had to interact with the client, I have spoke with the family and people that are somewhat aware of the circumstances, and obviously reading the report. This particular gentleman doesn't have any history of violence. He has a workers' comp money issue from several years ago, a traffic offense. As there is, of course, the issue of the weapon, but I think it's in dispute, actually. I think it's just word on actually what happened with the weapon, or whether it was mentioned or actually truthfully branded in front of the person as a threat. In any case, Judge, I believe if the officers haven't confiscated the weapon, I would ask if the court will grant a reasonable bond for him. Obviously, not allowing him to possess firearms, no contact with the victim. Additionally, if the court would like to have him represent if there are any other weapons in the house or anything in that regard. But again, he is a U.S. citizen, and without, I don't see on the facts alone any overbearing evidence that there was an actual assaulting or threatening with the weapon itself. And that's what I would just ask judges. It doesn't seem like he's got too much money. I think if it would be possible to do something in the $2,000 range, that's what we would ask the court.
All right, Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, is it acceptable? Can I go ahead and translate for the gentleman, the Portuguese speaker?
Yes, Madam Interpreter, I apologize. Please do.
Thank you. A respeito do crime em questão, o advogado fala que está entendendo que historicamente teve problemas de compensação de trabalho, problema de dinheiro no passado e ofensas de trânsito, mas essa disputa de uma arma presente é em questão de dúvida, pois verdadeiramente não sabemos se uma arma foi usada, não confiscaram nenhuma arma. Queremos ver se podemos pedir uma fiança mais razoável, sendo que não tem nenhuma vítima. O nosso esse senhor é um cidadão americano, não tem nenhuma evidência de uma ameaça verdadeira com uma arma. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Sa, did the police take the firearms?
Sr. Sa, a polícia levou uma arma da sua pessoa? Pegou uma arma?
Pegou na minha casa.
Yes, it was retrieved from my house.
Okay. Are there any other firearms in your home?
Ok. O senhor tem alguma outra arma em sua casa, senhor?
I have eu tenho uma hunting rifle, like for a small rifle, just uma arma de caçar.
I have a small hunting rifle.
Okay, Mr. Sa, at this time, I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $2,000. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You must surrender that other firearm to the police within 6 hours of your release.
Então, Sr. Sa, eu vou lhe dar uma fiança de $2.000. O senhor não pode ter nenhuma arma de fogo em sua morada. Eu vou lhe dar 6 horas após o senhor sair da detenção para o senhor entregar as armas que ainda tem em sua casa à polícia.
You will need to call the non-emergency phone number for the police, and they will instruct you on what you need to do.
O senhor terá que ligar para o telefone não emergencial da polícia e eles vão lhe dar instruções em como entregar suas armas.
I imagine your attorney will be able to assist you as well.
Imagino que seu advogado pode lhe ajudar em fazer isso direitinho.
You are not to have any contact with the victim or the witness in this case.
O senhor não pode ter contato nem tampouco com a vítima, nem tampouco com a testemunha em questão.
Mr. Sa, do you have any questions about anything that I've ordered?
Senhor Sa, o senhor tem alguma pergunta ou alguma dúvida sobre a minha ordem para o senhor?
Não. Muito obrigado.
No.
Ms. Bush?
Thank you very much.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask that he surrender his passport.
Mr. Sa, do you have a passport, sir?
Sim, por favor, Excelência, o Estado pede que ele também renuncie o passaporte dele. E a Excelência perguntou, a Meritíssima perguntou, o senhor tem passaporte, senhor Sá?
Eu sou cidadão americano.
I'm an American citizen.
I understand, sir. I'm asking you if you have a passport.
Eu entendo isso plenamente, senhor. A minha pergunta é, o senhor tem um passaporte?
Tenho passaporte americano, só.
I do. I only have an American passport.
Okay, sir. So you'll need to surrender that passport to your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail, and then your lawyer can deposit that into the clerk's registry.
Pois bem, senhor, o senhor tem, então, 24 horas pós sair da prisão para entregar o seu passaporte para o seu advogado e ele vai registrar esse passaporte com o funcionário escrituário da corte.
Ok, tá bom.
That's all I have with respect to this new case. Mr. Waseski, did I miss anything, or did you have any questions or anything to add?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. I'm not sure. With the new closures, am I allowed to physically go in and deliver the passport to the clerk? Do we know that, if I'm able to do that, or if they closed it?
Hold on one second.
If he can bring it here to the jail, he can bring it to the front window, and they'll bring it up to us, and we can process it and give him a receipt.
Okay, so I'm being told that if you can bring his passport to the jail, to the downstairs where the bonding area is, they will give it to the clerks, and then they'll bring it up, and you can get a receipt that way.
Understood, Judge. Perfectly fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Saw, you also have a 5-day hold for violation of probation.
And the interpreter has to translate what transpired between the lawyer and the clerk, and then he has a 5-day hold due to violation of probation. I'll let him know, okay?
Thank you.
Pois o advogado perguntou, com essa pandemia, eu levo para o escrituário do juiz e daí alguém instruiu a excelência que pode levar o seu passaporte, o advogado pode levar o seu passaporte para a janela do pessoal da fiança na prisão e eles vão dar um recibo para ele enquanto seguram o seu passaporte. Daí a juíza perguntou, a juíza, aliás, disse que o senhor tem vai ser aguardado devido a uma violação de probação.
Ok, tá bom. E para hoje?
Very well. Is this for today?
Yes, so you won't be able to postpone today. You won't be able to postpone until that hold has been lifted.
Correto. O senhor, então, não vai poder pagar a fiança hoje até que essa liberdade condicional, essa aprovação, seja liberada.
Mas como assim? Quanto tempo é isso? Mais ou menos.
All right, and but what does that mean? How long will this be approximately?
They have 5 days to file a violation of probation and hold you here in the jail. If they choose not to, the hold will be lifted.
Eles têm até 5 dias para pedir e aguardar a sua liberdade condicional. Se eles escolherem não fazer isso, daí então essa suspensão será acabará.
And Mr. Wachowski, I'm sure you'll explain to him that they can still file a violation of probation. You'll go over all that with him.
Yes, I will go with him. I wasn't aware of that VOPs or nor was that retained specifically for that case, but I'll be sure to deal with the family and see if we can resolve that as well.
Right. So as I'm explaining, he has that hold, so that he won't be able to bond out until they either file the violation, and then they can still file the VOP after the hold is released.
I'll make sure they understand all that, Judge. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, Mr. Sa, anything else?
Não.
Então, o seu advogado vai explicar melhor a respeito da violação de liberdade condicional para o senhor e vai conversar com a família para que todos entendam plenamente. Mais alguma pergunta, senhor?
Não.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am, so much. You're very helpful.
My pleasure. Thank you for using our services. Shall I disconnect, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Passar bem. I wished everyone well.
Mr.
Adeus.
Wachowski,
Goodbye.
Thank you. I forgot to mention this to you. If you're going to come today or any day, 5 p.m. is the latest you can turn in the passport at the jail.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, have a good day.
Thank you. Bom dia.
Bye-bye. All right, then court will be in recess.
And Your Honor?
Oh, one more thing. Yes, I forgot. Thank you, Ms. Bush.
Which one?
That 33-day motion I have set right here.
I probably picked it up. 1 second.
And this is
On his own recognizance at this time. Michael Herron?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. This is 20MM 4938. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. I'll appoint. Well, actually, is there an offer for Mr. Herron, Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the racetrack on University Boulevard, no contact with witnesses, abide by trespass warning.
Mr. Herron, did you want to enter a plea this afternoon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you have a chance to review the plea form?
Just what she just said. The offer was 2 days, right?
Yes.
The plea form? You told me to
Yes.
plead?
Did you have a chance to review that?
Yes, sir. I'll plead no contest.
All right. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Oh, I am a U.S. citizen.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. You are not to return to the racetrack. You are not to have any contact with any of the witnesses, and you must abide by the trespass warning. You do have to pay court costs. Those will be due by July 8th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Mr. Pugh?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. No problem. No.
Your Honor, Pugh's behavior.
All right, that's 20 MM 4971. I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Pugh's appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior. He was arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. He's not to return to the Rosemont Plaza, and I'm going to release him on his own recognizance.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Valerie Wright, mental health.
Mr. Matos, I'm also going to appoint your office to represent Ms. Wright. Did you want to waive her appearance or have it reset?
Waive.
That's 20 MM 4935. She was arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent her. She's not to return to the Orlando International Airport or have any contact with the victim. Her bond is $500. Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Young?
Hello.
Yes, sir?
How you doing?
Good, thank you. This is 20 MM 4940. You were arrested for petty theft. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 2 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no contact with witnesses or victim, no return to the scene, the Wawa on South Orange Blossom Trail, abide by trespass warning, and restitution in the amount of $3.
All right. Mr. Young, did you want to accept that offer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not appointing a public defender on this case. Mr. Young, did you have a chance to read the plea form, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
Okay, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You are not to return to the Wawa or have any contact with the victim or witnesses. You're going to have to pay restitution in the amount of $3 to Wawa along with court costs, all which will be due by July 8th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Young. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Hello, Troy Shabazz, Yana.
Is Augustine the Creole case? Yes. Okay. And tell me your name, I'm sorry.
Troy Troy Bell. They got me on the Troy Bell, ma'am.
All right, sir. Mr. Bell,
Yes,
you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for robbery and grand theft.
Right.
The state has filed a 2-count information charging you with these offenses, sir. You
Right.
are not to have any contact with the victim. You are not to return to the scene. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. This stems from an 08 warrant. I think back then Orange County had home confinement. I'm going to delete that requirement from the warrant.
You going to delete it, Delana?
I'm deleting the home confinement requirement. We don't
Yes.
have home confinement in Orange
Yes.
County.
Yes. Your Honor.
Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $150.
Hey, Yana, can I
Sir?
say something? Yes, I was served for this time. I was in the federal system since February 2009. This same case that I'm out here for, that I was served in Philadelphia with the feds with this case here. I'm back here. I'm here for really nothing because I served the time. I did the time in the feds. This case
hear
right
you.
here.
Mr. Bell, I hear you. Unfortunately, I don't have enough information about that. I do see that you are on federal supervision.
Yes.
So I've appointed the public defender here in Orange County to assist you with this case. You're going to want to provide them with all of that information so they can do the research on that and then present that to the state attorney and to the judge.
Okay, so
All right, sir.
will I be released?
Well, you have a bond.
What's the bond?
Your bond, it's
600?
It's $5,150.
So I got to pay you $650? Whatever you work out with fine. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
All right.
Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Butler?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butler, you're here in 20 CF 6820. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling pursuant to a probable cause habeas. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victims. You are not to return to the scene. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Your bond is $15,000, sir.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, is there any way I can say something?
Not about your facts. If you have a question, I
don't-
try to
I
answer.
don't want to talk about the facts of the case. I was just asking a quick question real quick.
Sure.
Cause I don't understand how my bond is so high. And it's an old case from 2015 that I knew nothing about. I'm on community control and I was at court when they came and picked me up. I was at court, I seen the judge and all, and I was never informed of no warrant. I check in with my community control officer every week.
When were you placed on community control?
I've been on community control for almost a year.
All right. All right, given the fact, you check in with your community control officer every week, you said?
Yes, ma'am. Every Tuesday, faithfully, 12 o'clock.
All right, Mr. Butler, I'm still gonna set your bond at $5,000, given your criminal history, and you have 6 failure to appears in your past. So your bond is set at $5,000.
5,000. 5,000. Ma'am, I got one more question. About the cause I think they put a hold on me, and I'm not understanding why.
Because you're on probation or community control, so you come up from this charge as a violent felony offender. From what you're telling me, you're going to have to talk to your lawyer to explain all the procedural things regarding the probation issues.
Yeah, because I had talked to my officer when I was getting arrested, and she had informed me that being at the charges from 2015, that I wasn't going to be getting no violation or any of that. So,
Right,
so
so
when I
that
came
whole-
in, it caught me by surprise when they said I had a VOP hold.
Right. So what it does is it populates automatically based upon the charges and the fact that you're on probation, and it gives the corrections an opportunity to alert probation to see if they want to file a violation. If your probation officer doesn't want to file it, then they're going to release the hold.
And there's no telling when that'll happen.
Well, they have 5 days.
So I have to sit in here for 5 days?
Yes.
Damn, man, I got a good job, man.
Your Honor, next on the list is Camps. He refused court.
All right. I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Camp's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. He was arrested in 20 CF 8237 for burglary of a structure or criminal mischief greater than $1,000 and grand theft third degree. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. He's not to return to the scene or have any contact with any of the witnesses or victims or possess any weapons. Bond on count 1 is $3,500. Bond on count 2, $150. Bond on count 3, $150.
Capellas, refused,
Yes.
Your Honor.
All right, I'll find a waiver of appearance based upon his refusal to come to court in 20 CF 8265. He was arrested for possession of ecstasy and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. He's not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. He'll have random urinalysis testing through pretrial release, and I will take no action on the out on bond case. Good afternoon. Your name?
Louis Capellan.
Mr. Capellan, you have 20 CF 8208. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver an unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both of your cases. You also have 20 CF 8255. Where you were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for those offenses as well. Bond on count 1 is $150. Bond on count 2 is $100. And then I'm not taking any action on the out on bond cases, or the out on bond case.
What does that mean?
So you're out on bond case, you're already out on bond for a case, but I'm not going to revoke the bond because the new warrant that you were arrested on was, the facts of that warrant happened before your arrest. So you still can bond out.
And it would be how much?
I don't know. You have 1,000, 150. So like 1,350? About 1,350. I'm not sure. You'll have to add them up.
Okay, and when
1,400.
when it says possession of cannabis with contempt to sell or deliver and unlawful use of two-way communication device. What does that mean?
So you don't have a copy of the warrant. So your lawyer is going to provide you with a copy of the affidavit to issue the warrant, which will explain to you the facts of what you're being accused of.
This one?
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But in layman's terms, they're saying that you tried to sell marijuana and you used your phone to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, ma'am? Jamie Copeland? All right. Mr. Matos, do you want me to reset that case or do you want to waive the appearance?
I want to waive the appearance, Your Honor.
That's 20 CF 8239, Jamie Copeland. He was arrested for aggravated battery and battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. He's not to have any contact with the victim or witnesses, and he's not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Judge, he's also out on bond cases.
Oh, okay. I don't have those cases. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. There's 20 CF 6399 and 20 CF 6599. So it's 527, 523. One is a possession of fentanyl. The other one is burglary, grand theft, carrying a concealed weapon, criminal mischief, and resisting without. I'm revoking the out on bond cases. Those will be set at none. Ms. Williams, can these go to the clerk or you need to come back to you? Got it. Thank you. Are you Mr. Crumpton?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpton, sir, you are here in 20 CF 7773. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for arson of a structure and arson, second degree, of a vehicle or craft. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to return to the scene. You are not to possess any accelerants, and you're not to possess any weapons. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir.
I just have a question.
Yes.
I'm a dialysis patient.
Okay.
Is there a dialysis in this facility? I haven't had it in 3 days. I'm just concerned about that.
Sure. I'm being told that there is a dialysis machine downstairs. And they come in and provide dialysis in the jail. Okay. So make sure that they know that you need that. The public defender's office is also representing you, so you can talk to them about your medical needs. Okay? But they do provide that here in the jail, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Holmes, this is 20 CF 8251. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill and firing a weapon in public or on residential property.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim or witnesses. You're not to return to the scene, and you are not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Bond on count 1 is going to be $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $100.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Your name?
DeAndre Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, this is 19 CF 15438. This is a violation of probation based upon your arrest in 20 CF 8220 on July 6th of this year in Orange County, Florida. There's probable cause for the violation of probation. At this time, your bond will be set at none. As I said, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, and you will see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days on the violation of probation.
So I have no bond?
On this probation violation, no. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Ronald McMillan.
Mr. McMillan, sir, you are here in case number 18 CF 14416. You failed to appear for pretrial conference back on February 5th, 2019. At this time, sir, your bond on count 1 will be $250. Bond on count 3 will be $250.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
What if I want to just go ahead and plead guilty to this?
So you can't do that today because I can't take a felony plea here at the jail. You'll need to get in touch with the public defender's office. They represent you, and let them know that you'd like to enter a plea, and they'll be able to coordinate that for you, sir.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
You too. Good afternoon. Your name?
Adam Renta.
Mr. Renta, you are here in case number 19 CF 16089. You failed to appear for a plea hearing on June 25th of this year. At this time, your bond is set at none, sir.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Can I talk? My bondsman called the PD. I was never scheduled because of the coronavirus. They pushed my court date back. I bonded out. Then they pushed it forward again, and they gave me a pop-up court date. That's why I missed the court date. I was not notified through bondsman or through the public defender's office. I've called multiple times every week to figure out I had a court date. I even went to the courthouse, my mother as well. And I'm here sitting before you with a warrant for my arrest for not going to court when I was not notified. My bondsman is also aware of this. I already had a plea. I had a plea already, was time served. I already did 4.5 months the time before, and my plea was just to sign, time served. I would have not missed that for any day in the world.
Mr. Renton, just give me a second, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Because of all this coronavirus stuff, I wound up missing the court date. Sorry for the inconvenience.
I am. I don't see that, but I just looking to see because it's set and then it's judge motion, judge that's public that day because we're not on court time. So I just was wondering, you kind of what people need to talk about. No, so we can get a date. Mr. Renton is represented by the public defender? Yes, I'm looking at now.
Yes, ma'am.
So the last bond filed 427. The court minutes say that the parties are supposed to get with the JA to reset for in-person plea. So it looks like you were in custody. They set up for an in-custody plea. You bonded out,
Yes,
And then
ma'am.
the lawyers were supposed to reset it for.
Yes, ma'am.
In-person plea. It looks like it was set, just a second, Mr. Renner, I'm trying to process it and make sense, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then it was set, but I don't see a notice that was sent to Mr. Renner.
It was not sent to me, not my bond. I'm sorry, is this on
I
here
see
for
that
no
they've
reason?
already
Yeah.
they've agreed to reset it for a plea. I don't know if are you able to modify the bond?
Technically, because it's a capias, legally I can't modify a capias without the permission of the issuing judge because it's a bench warrant. It's not like a regular ex parte warrant that can be modified. But, I don't see where he had notice. I don't think Judge Marquez is who signed this, and I've had lots of conversations with her about this. I don't think she'd have a problem with it being modified, but what I want to do is I want to email her and get a date so that we can give Mr. Renner a date for the plea hearing. And I also don't have the terms of the agreement. Not that we could take it here today, but
Yeah, I was offered a time served plea, and my bondsman already. I talked to him already, and he told me that he was gonna figure everything out with you guys.
Your Honor, I could handle it if we can get it set over in courtroom. Oh, I guess we can't really do that.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to email Judge Marquez and her assistant and tell them the situation. Just confirm that she has no objection to me releasing him, given that he wasn't given any notice, and then see if they'll respond with a court date that we could give him. So, Mr. Renner, I'm going to go ahead.
We could set it just for a plea, not like a court date, because there's all notes in here saying that that's what it is.
No, correct. Yes,
Okay, cool.
agreed.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Renner, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to email the judge who's handling this, and I'm going to let her know what happened and ask her to give me a new plea date for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm gonna recall your case at the end of the session.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
Francis?
Okay. Tell me your name, please.
Victor Rodriguez?
Victor Rodriguez?
Yes.
All right, sir. You are here in 20 CF 8221. You are arrested for trafficking in heroin greater than 4 grams, less than 14 grams, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 will be $50,000. Count 2 will be $150,000. Count 3 will be $100,000. I'm revoking the bond in 19 CF 17515. That's going to be set at none. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Hi, my name is Aubrey Roggenkamp.
Ms. Roggenkamp, this is 20 CF 8191. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for possession of fentanyl. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to have you tested through pretrial release, and I'm releasing you on your own recognizance at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Kelly Smith, mental health.
Mr. Matos, did you want me to waive her appearance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's in case number 20 CF 5482. And 20 MM 4937. In that case, she was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. The public defenders appointed in both cases. I'm going to ROR her on the misdemeanor case. And in 20 CF 5482, bond on count 1 is $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $150,000. She is not to have any contact. She's not to go to any pawn shops, no return to the scene, and no contact with victim or witnesses.
The next person on the docket, Nehemiah Street, behavior.
Who was it?
Street, last name Street, Nehemiah.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Street's appearance based upon his inability to come to court due to his behavior. In 20 CF 8254, he was arrested for attempted robbery with a weapon, possession of methamphetamine with a weapon. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $150,000. He's not to return to the Wawa or possess any weapons or firearms. Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Carl Cussash.
Sir, you are here in 15 CF 5756. You have several violation of probation warrants today. You also have 15 CF 4575, 15 CF 5689, 15 CF 8563, and 15 CF 5301.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, it's alleged that you moved from your residence without obtaining permission and you failed to successfully complete or remain in a drug or alcohol treatment program. At this time, your bond on all of the violations of probation are set at none. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days on these cases.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes. You have 2 more things. Oh, there's 2 more? Did they miss 2? What are the other 2 numbers?
2015 CF 008563, 2015 CF 004575.
I thought I saw those. I thought I said those. Did I say that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total, right?
Yes, ma'am, there should be 5 total.
Hold on. Do you have 5 to me? Did I just not say them? All right, well, just to be clear then, 15 CF 5756, 15 CF 4575, 15 CF 5689, 15 CF 8563, and 15 CF 5301. They all have a no bond, sir, and you'll see Judge Whitehead in all of the cases.
Okay, so I'll see Judge Whitehead on all of these?
Yeah, so you'll see him first for an in-jail arraignment. And then after that, they'll be sent to the division, which is Division 20, and your judge is Judge O'Kane.
Okay, so, all right, Whitehead and then O'Kane.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious, it was Judge, Renee Roche was my sentencing judge, so she's not gonna be the one on these?
No, there's been some movement in the divisions. So Judge Roche has moved to a different trial division, and Judge O'Kane has taken that Division 20 over.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
Cornelius Langley.
Mr. Langley, you're here in 17 CF 9508 for allegedly violating your probation by committing the offense of kidnapping on November 1st, 2019 in Pitt County, North Carolina, and for committing the offense of sexual battery on November 1st, 2019 in Pitt County, North Carolina. At this time, your bond is set at none, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days on the VOP.
Hey, I was never charged with sexual battery.
I don't know if you, I don't know, sir, the facts, the underlying facts of what they're alleging. I just am telling you what I'm reading in the affidavit for violation of probation. So that's certainly something that you're going to want to discuss with your lawyer.
Yes, I have the paperwork here.
Okay, so make sure you give that to your lawyer.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Miss Tanner?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Tanner, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County for armed home invasion with a firearm, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. On count 2, you have a $5,000 bond. Count 3, a $1,000 bond. Your bond is set at none on count 1. I have notified the state and public defender here in Orange County and Osceola County that you are here, and they can set a bond motion for you here in Orange County. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Brittany Thomas, refused court.
All right, that's a Lake County, out-of-county case. I'll find a waiver of her appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. Bond on each count is $2,000. Can we bring back Mr. Renta, please? All right, Mr. Renta, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You need to appear at 9 a.m. on July 17th, downtown at 9 a.m. in jury courtroom 3.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, make sure you're there. Get in touch with your public defender when you're released from the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. No problem. July 17th at 9 a.m. Jury courtroom 3. All right, just that one last case, right?
Yeah, and I have to call them.
Okay.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. For Spanish, press 1. For other, press 2. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Haitian Creole.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say anything. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Haitian Creole.
I understood Haitian Creole. If this is correct, say yes or press 1. If this is incorrect, say no. Please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for an interpreter.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Sarah, ID number 02458. I'll be your Haitian Creole interpreter today. This call may be modified for training quality assurance purposes. How may I assist you?
Hi, good afternoon. We need your assistance for a court proceeding.
Not a problem. I'll be more than happy to assist.
All right. This is case number 20CF 8252. Sir,
20 CF 8252.
Yes, thank you. Sir, could you please state your name?
Allô, bonjour, s'il vous plaît, monsieur. Est-ce capable de dire nous nom?
No, really, Alex.
My name is Alex.
Sir, you were arrested for discharging a firearm in public, carrying a concealed firearm.
Vous t'es arrêté ou est-ce que vous t'es pris un fusil en public et puis tout, ou t'es gagné un arme sous?
And resisting officer without violence.
Et puis tout, t'as résisté au officier sans violence.
There is probable cause.
Il y a une cause probable.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Il y a pour mettre un défendeur public pour représenter.
Your bond on count 1 is going to be $100.
Bond que vous gagnez sous compte 1, c'est $100.
Count 2, $2,500.
Compte numéro 2, $2,500.
And count 3, $100.
Compte 3, $100.
You are not to have, or you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir.
Ou pas ta supposé gagner aucun arme ou bien aucun bagage comme ça tout.
Non, pas monter, et pas monter qui te bat examen, bah c'est monter dans poche, pas tirer sur monde.
I didn't fire the gun. The gun was it was on me. I didn't shoot anyone.
Mr. Augustine, this is your public defender. I keep your questions for your other attorney, please.
OK, ça nous besoin faut connaître que est-ce que c'est pour rendez-vous ça ou pas qu'il doit discuter ça. Quitter libre pour l'autre fois que ou venir dans jugement.
All right, Mr. Augustine, I've given you the conditions of your release and your bond amounts. Do you have any questions, sir?
OK, il y a une bonne condition pour relâchement et puis montant bon. Est-ce que il y a aucune autre question?
If she has an immigration detainer.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Et puis il y a un cas immigration.
No questions?
Pas aucune question?
No.
No.
All right, sir. And I also need to inform you that you do have an immigration hold.
Et puis il y a un bloc tout à cause de l'immigration.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome. Thank you for using our services. Have a great day.
Oh, yeah, I read what you wrote.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ms. Bush? Sure. Oh, sure. Anything else? All right, then we'll be in recess.
Is Lake applying like certified court interpreters? They are? We use them for like phone calls. I didn't know that.
Denise,
Yes.
you guys are still hot. Video and everything.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Hey, man, how come it's all over here. I said, man, I said, it's my Friday. Me too. I said, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. She got me 2 weeks in a row with that. Yeah. Me too. I said, you ain't wrong.
Put these down in the drawer.
Yeah.